Items differ in functionality, from the most expensive items costing billions, to the items you can get in a few seconds costing only a handful of coins. Today, we'll be looking at 6 of the weirdest, dumbest, and most unusual items in Hypixel Skyblock. Before we get into today's video, be sure to subscribe and join the Discord, link in description, because we're doing lots of giveaways and special things and you do want to be there. That's all from me, on to the video. For the first several weeks of the game's release, the Leaping Sword was one of the strongest weapons in the game, with its relatively high base damage, strength, and crit damage, as well as a useful mobility ability. However, when the floating islands were updated into the park, the Leaping Sword got a new upgrade that many people don't know about. After completing a few races with this guy Gustave, you can actually get a Silky Lichen, and what this does is upgrade the Leaping Sword with this Silky Lichen, as well as enough materials to make a second Leaping Sword. This creates the Silk Edge Sword and is a slightly upgraded Leaping Sword with an even better ability that has the same mana cost and cooldown. What a lot of people don't know is that these abilities, because they have different damage, means that they don't cooldown stack, meaning that you can keep using them back and forth and never using the cooldown, because they have a different item ability. What this means is you can basically just fly at a very low mana cost, because compared to the AOTE, teleporting a few blocks in a straight distance is a lot worse than jumping like 20 blocks. The next item on our list is the Ember Rod. This is an epic sword that is really iconic for anyone who played the game in early 2019, because this was one of the strongest and easiest to get weapons because it was exposed by Technoblade after his Magma Boss video. In the summer of 2019, TimeDio and his co-op used dropping these Ember Rods to get to the first 50 million coins on the server, which was pretty huge at the time. However, most players don't know that the Ember Rod has actually been removed from the boss's loot pool. And it has been for over a year. Basically, when the Magma Boss got reworked in Pets V2, with the Magma Pet being added to its loot pool, as well as the change that multiple Magma Bosses will spawn together, the Ember Rod was actually just removed from the loot pool, which is very interesting. I still don't know why this occurred. Maybe they felt it was useless, but actually, the ability just doesn't do anything anymore. They don't damage. It says shoot 3 fireballs with shield damage, but none of them actually can do damage anymore. The Null Ovoid is the upgraded form of the Null Sphere, which is one of the base Slayer crafts in the Enderman Slayer. If you head through the recipes and go towards the end, there is an ability item called the Soul Esaward, and it's a birch sapling that I probably just butchered the name of, but basically it has an item ability called Soulward. When you right click, you become invulnerable for 5 seconds, but you can't deal any damage. And afterwards it halves your damage for 2 seconds. It's very interesting, it uses a lot of soul flow, it's got a long cooldown. I don't really see the point. Maybe if you are a tank and you really just need to do that. It's kind of like a tank ult if you think about it. What really just makes me very upset is the crafting recipe. Look at this abomination. It's 48 birch, but instead of dividing them evenly into stacks of 12, it's 18, 14, 5, and then 11. And then the amounts of Null Ovoid is 4, 6, 2, 1. I don't get it. And then there's just a summoning eye. Why? And the shape doesn't make sense either. It's like this arrow thing with a thing on it, and then these just fill the other spots, and the summoning eye's in the top middle. And people were saying that in the default Minecraft textures, this makes the shape of a birch sapling. And well, 1, I don't agree. 2, what is this? The numbers, they're so bad. The next item we're going over is a glitched version of a Jerry egg. This is a spawn villager egg. Basically, from what I understand, at some point you could bug a Jerry egg to the point where it would lose its custom Skyblock name and just be a spawn villager egg. Now, I don't know if that's 100% correct. I think that's what happened, that's what someone told me, but yet again, I don't actually know. But what's interesting about this is because it is a spawn villager egg, not only can you just spawn a villager with it on your island, you can also spawn it on public islands. So if we look here and just right click, it's not gonna work, but that's because you have to put it in water and look at the side of a block. Okay, there we go. I just did it. Okay, so you have to right click on someone and then look at the block right after and then place it. Wait, let me untoggle. He's so confused. Do you like my friend? Spawn villager. Indeed! Okay, we're gonna try this again. I think it has to be the top is not in water, the bottom is in water, and then you like right click it on a player. I don't know. There! I did it! Okay. So I don't know why this works, but it always spawns in a corner. And it's like when I like look at the corner and then it just spawns directly like in my peripheral vision. I don't know why this works, but it spawns with a different occupation. It just has the name Spawn Villager, and it will stay here until the server resets, which is very interesting and weird. You can't trade with it. I don't know. What I do know is that if you head over to mantle.gg/shop/saltlol, you can support the channel by picking up one of these awesome capes. Heading back to the park race, our next item is the Polished Pebble. It has no item lore, the common tag and is named Polished Pebble, and it's just a piece of flint. And you would think that this could be like an infinite use flint and steel or something special. No, all it does when you right click is makes a flint and steel noise and a fire particle in front of you. That's all it does. And if I turn up I need to turn up my game volume. But it just makes a little pop. That's all it does. I don't know why this exists. It's a quest item from this race, and it just, like, why? I don't understand. And it doesn't even light anything on fire. Like, if I go to my island and be like, oh no, what if this wooden thing lit up? It doesn't do anything. It's just a particle. It's so pointless. I don't understand why it exists. On very rare occasions, the Malmar NPC will spawn in the Dwarven Mines, and within his shop, he sells mining pumpkins, a tasty Dwarven snack, for 100,000 coins. It makes you gain Spelunker 5 and a 5% chance to gain extra Mithril Powder while mining for 60 whole minutes. Spelunker 5 might not sound that good, but in fact, the potion that is in the God Pot right here is only Spelunker 4. So the difference is about 5 mining fortune. Barely anyone knows this item even exists, and I'm not even sure if it's worth it because it costs 100,000 coins. But I guess if you really want that 5 Mithril Powder, any cost is worth it. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Enjoy the rest of your day.